And here we just have to push. There's no other play right here anymore. So let's just go for broke and now hope that they don't have 2 PGs. And they don't! Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today we're going to be doing the third deck profile for this set 14. According to the poll, you guys voted Daikaiser x Daiyusha as the second most popular deck to go forward with. So here we go, we're just going to go straight into the deck. Now, there are 2 key variants, and it really depends on the starter you want to play. The playstyle is slightly different, but generally the idea is still Daikaiser into Daiyusha. There is a pure Daiyusha turbo variant. That's something that I might cover in the future, but I really want to showcase Daikaiser as the new kind of boss unit for DP. Shield breaking is just super cool and a very protagonist energy-ish, and I just really love it. So let's just go to the deck profile I prefer more, and then we can go to the other alternative to just briefly discuss about it. For this build, we're going to be playing Daiyusha. Now, Daiyusha is the one that we got from all the way back in set 7, I believe. If your Vanguard is grade 2 or greater Dimension Robo, put 4 Dimension Robo rearguards into your soul, including this one if you want to, and ride a Daiyusha from your deck and draw 2 cards. So it's great, you can correct to the Daiyusha you want. You can go into Daiyusha early to extend some crit pressure. You can superior cross ride into Great Daikaiser, Daiyusha, or the reverse Daiyusha if you want to. So that's an option. Fortunately, it doesn't let you go into Daikaiser, but if you are on Daikaiser, it means you can go straight into, Daikaiser into a superior break ride. That's possible, and we'll explain how you can actually make that play much more feasible in this current environment. We play 4 Daibrave. Daibrave is your card advantage engine. In your soul, kind of +1, put this card into your drop zone to have your Vanguard get the following ability. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, draw a card. You don't really get draw a card outside of this card in Dimension Robo, so it's so important to have. Daiyusha definitely increases the odds of having Daibrave in your soul, and it's very good. 4 PG, it's a Dimension Robo. It just means that if you're clogged with it, at least you can do something with it, with the D-Robo name. We play 2 Daimariners because I definitely do think that going into Daiyusha itself is still a decent option. Daimarina in the soul you can always put into the drop zone to get +3. Helps you hit numbers sometimes. 7k beater by itself. You do have some other options, but I definitely do think that, sometimes it's vanilla is okay. I would play 3 Go Cannons. Now, Go Cannon's an interesting card. Rearguard Circle, if your Vanguard is a Daiyusha, put this unit in and another Dimension Noble Rearguard into your soul to have your Vanguard get +1 crit. It does come in clutch, and when you're going for those Daikaiser, high roll 2 to 6 or 3 to 6 kind of like plays, Go Cannon is your way to go. Guaranteeing a +1 crit is really cool. Helping you insert kind of Daibraves or Daimariners to actually get more power or draw is very valuable as well. Fortunately, the deck is a bit weak in the card advantage generation, so be wary of Go Cannon. Sometimes it's Go Cannon or Go Broke. We have 4 Kaiser. Now, this card I was not a believer on. Like, when you rolled upon your Vanguard gets +5, seems pretty weak. None of your grade 3s really need that extra power to actually gain anything at the moment, except for OG Daiyusha. But it is still nice just going able to guarantee that if you do have to go into Daiyusha first, being able to guarantee that you have that extra crit without kind of committing anything else like Counter Blast or Soul Blast. It's just pretty solid. Play 4 Dai Dragons. Now, Dai Dragon is just a 12k beater, helps you hit numbers. 1 10k beater Dai Fighter. If you like the 10k vanilla more, you can exchange it with the Dai Dragons. Definitely think that the 12k beater might be more valuable here. But it is really to each their own. And we're going to be playing 4 Cosmic Mothership. Now, Cosmic Mothership is like, what the hell is this? Like, I thought this was a Dimension Robo deck. It's a self-damager, and we'll explain why. We'll explain why. Soon. We play 4 Daiyusha as a heal trigger. Now, this card is still a really good card. You can card +4 essentially to get the skill, the proc skill. When it's 14k or greater, before attacking, it gets +1 crit. In addition, you can remove this card from hand to add one of Dai Battles, Dai Lander, Dai Mariner, or Dai Dragon to your hand. You don't get to choose. It is 1/4 chance for each respective one, but it's essentially like 50% chance of getting one of these 7k vanillas, 25% chance of getting a 6k on place counter +1 +4, and 25% chance of getting a Dai Dragon, which is a 9+3. Most of the time you do want the Dai Dragon, but the others are still fine. We have Great Daiyusha, which is still your main kind of ride target. Vanguard, Limber Break 4, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have 2 or more Dimension Robo in your soul, it gets +2/+1 crit until end of battle. No need Caramblast, no need anything. If you just ride up normally, most of your grade 1, grade 2s are Dimension Robo, so you should be fine. And it is a cross ride, so that's great. We have 1 Reverse Daiyusha. Now this card is interesting. Caramblast 1, lock 2 Dimension Robo rearguards to have one of your opponent's units get -10k. Retire all rearguards with power less than 0. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard with less than 6,000 power, it gets +1 crit. So you can use this to snipe out your opponent's intercepts or key pieces, but generally speaking, you're still going to be using this to reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power, make sure that your other columns hit properly, and make sure that you get that extra crit. It is an expensive cost. I don't really see myself using this a lot, unless I kind of pull up my Dai Graves really consistently early on, or just stack a lot of draws, but it is a nice option. Especially when you're in the end game, you just lock some stuff, kind of get rid of some intercepts and just go face. It's solid. And the new kind of a super dimensional Robo Daikaiser Vanguard Circle, Limber Break 4, when rolled upon, Caramblast 1, give your Vanguard +10/+1 crit, and the following ability until end of turn. Once per turn, when your drive check reveals a grade 3, your opponent must activate two cards at the same time when activate Sentinel with perfect guard effects until end of battle. So it's a pseudo kind of guard break where your opponent can't just use 1 perfect guard to protect you. They kind of have to overcompensate, kind of like in the TCG. And when boosted, it gets +3. Solid card. The reason why we play Cosmic Mothership and the reason why we play Daiyusha is because, well, if you're stuck on Daikaiser, right, and you're at 3, your opponent damage denies you, which is kind of like something that, you know, most decks would do if you don't have the PGs in hand. Well, you can play the Cosmic Mothership. You're at 4 now. You can go Daiyusha, superior break ride into something like that Great Daiyusha, for example. Now you have your Caramblast 1, your Vanguard Great Daiyusha gets, you know, +10/+1 crit. You have 2 Dimension Robos, at least 2 because you proc go Daiyusha, and so that's another +2/+1 crit. So you're basically a 3 crit Vanguard, and you just go face. Face is the place. You can even stack more with Go Cannon if you want to. But yeah, that's pretty sick. Catch them off guard when they don't expect it, and go for game. Overall, I think this deck is pretty neat. I have to say thank you, chat, for giving me some ideas and tips for going forward with this build. This was not the build that I thought would be my preferred build. I had to test around with a lot of the pieces, but overall I found that you really have to be conservative with your pieces. You really need to know when to go for broke and go for cannon and go for game, but it's definitely not the most stable deck. I've never put Daikaiser in high regards. It's not the most consistent card, but when it works like wonders, and it's so satisfying. So I guess right before we go into games, another build that you can consider is the Dai Magnum build. Now Dai Magnum is a new starter. Put this into your soul to get your Vanguard +5. You can use this for cards like Dai Heart, which lets you correct into the grade 3 that you want, which is Daikaiser, because you want the break ride most of the time, or helps you proc your Daiyusha's 14k or greater before attack, because it gives your Vanguard +5. Generally speaking, this build is more consistent, if I may. You use less resources in order to get your pieces, but it's less explosive, in my opinion. So that's my opinion. But yeah, like you just have less options to put stuff into your soul, which is where you kind of proc your advantage kind of generation, like with Dai Brave and stuff. So that's kind of like the pros and cons. A brief look into the Dai Magnum build. Let me know down below which one you prefer. But I guess without further ado, let's go into a game and see how this deck goes. Alright, so let's get into a game. Let's see how this deck plays out in game. That's awkward. I used game twice in that one sentence. Alright. Pretty okay with this hand. Again, I'm not a greedy player. I personally believe that even if you don't draw into a grade 3 right now, it just means higher odds of hitting a trigger later. So that's fine, and we have Daiyusha, we can always correct. We have 3 Dai Hearts, which is, Dai Braves, which is always a great card to just shove into your soul and just mass draw. I love it. Can't complain. We have the Mirror. Surprise crit, surprise crit. Okay, okay. Draw. Okay. Could have been a heal. Could have been a heal. Alright, what do we do here? I think the 10k is fine. And we can go straight into Daiyusha. The weakness is you can't go into Daikaiser with Daiyusha, but do we go with Daiyusha or Great Daiyusha? These names trip me up. Maybe it's still early in the game, so maybe we go into the Daiyusha. I know it's like a heal, which might seem pretty meh, but the good thing about Daiyusha is that it has good early game utility as well. I think that's fine. Die Brave, let's just use both. We have 3, so why not? Help us fill up our hand real quick. Build a nice 18k column here. Guarantee ourselves hitting. Our Vanguard hits, draw 2, and then our rearguard column hits for 18. No trigger. Reverse Daiyusha. And overall, reverse Daiyusha, I think, cost a bit too much. Not the counterblast, but like locking to rearguard is just hard. And it just means that you can't proc your Laurel at all. So, Laurel is a pretty meh card in this game. You restand, but you don't get the extra 2 cards that you would have gotten in the actual drive check, so that's pretty meh. That's 1 PG to the bottom of the deck. That's both options for if we want to go for it. I guess we can just go for the Great Daiyusha. Build up our columns. 12 hits 10. 13 and then 15. It's fine. Let's not commit to 7k yet, since we are still low on resources. Still no triggers. That's 1 PG down for us as well. Another PG down for them. Draw trigger, of course. Okay, let's see. Daikaiser. One of the bad things about Kaiser is like, yeah, outside of the Daiyusha ride, the +5 doesn't really make a big splash. But I guess it does help you hit your numbers that you want. Opponents also playing the self-damager, so clearly cultured. But they're already at 4, so it's not really that big of a deal. They do have the Daiyusha, so they can go straight into the superior break ride. So I guess they're showing a better sampler of the deck than I am, I guess. But one of the bad things about the self-damager is that it's 8k. So if you're not a big fan of the self-damagers because of the low stat lines, I totally understand as well. If you're an Easel player, rejoice because you get like 9k and 7k self-damagers, which is really big, honestly. And here, if they do drive check a grade 3, it's over, so lucky, okay. Alright, let's see what we have. They're at 4. Okay, another Daiyusha. I think here, honestly, we just have to go for broke with the Go Cannon play. If we use Daiyusha, we might risk ourselves getting a 7k body or a 6k that can't actually hit rearguard. So we can't use Daiyusha. Go Cannon is just the only winning play we have right now. We've seen 2 PGs go. Just triple Daiyusha board. Let's just go. Go for it. And nice. Perfect. So yeah, triple Daiyusha, 1 of each variant, very cool. I mean, our opponents showed it better than us. Basically, you go Daikaiser, you superior break ride into Great Daikaiser, you just push. If you don't hit your grade 3, it kind of falls flat, as our opponents played it. But like, if they did check a grade 3, we would have been goners. So maybe we can go for another game. I think this video has been pretty short. I think it's like 15 minutes or so right now. So let's just go for another game and see if we can get a better example of how this would work. Okay, Ren. We're just going to keep the Daikaiser. As you saw from the play just now from our opponent, you do want your first ride to be Daikaiser and then go Yusha into your break ride. That is the ideal game plan, so let's just stick with that. Again, we're just going to go for this. Helps us draw cards, just such a good card. We don't really have a lot of units to attack with, so maybe the booster on the rear column could help, at least hit intercepts. We are going first, so our 8k Vanguard body wouldn't hurt as much. If we're going second, we do need the 5k booster behind the Vanguard to at least hit those 9k Vanguards, which is, you know, most popular grade 2 stat line at the moment. Heal trigger, fortunate heal trigger again, unfortunate. We have to ride the self-damager, no choice here. I guess we could just use the Daiyusha, there's no reason not to. Could draw into a grade 2, which would really help. Nope, unfortunately it's not. No real reason to commit right now. I don't want to get punished for it. Especially giving our opponent 2 counterblast means that they could snipe the Daiyusha, which would hurt. So let's just take it slow, take it slow. Okay, Blaster Dark, Day Standard, Creeping Dark Go, see what they got. SP, it's all SP, spicy, spicy. Alright, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? So if you don't like the 4 self-damagers, I definitely do suggest playing more 10k vanillas. They're still solid, definitely doesn't hurt. And one of the weaknesses of the self-damager is definitely you're less consistently using your Daiyusha because it isn't a D-Robo name. Just double check what they added to hand. That's Mordred. Daikaiser, pretty straightforward. I don't even know if we need to use the Daiyusha right now since we do have 2 great Daikaisers in our hand. But I guess we can still go for the self-damage into LB4 play. Putting the grade 3 in front is fine because, well, if they don't hit into it, it's still Daiyusha, you know, resource. Of course they hit a heal, so nothing we can do there. Tortu is so good. Tortu is so good. The Arm Weed. That's another heal trigger down. TG. Sure. Okay. So now at least they have to hit the rear guard, which is nice, I guess. So next turn, we just go break ride. I think that's pretty standard. We have to go for the win right now. We break ride, we get an extra crit wear 2. The Daikaiser puts us to 3. So we just build 2 columns. And yeah, we can't use the skill because then Cosmic Mothership doesn't count as D-Robo, so we lose that extra crit. And here we just have to push. There's no other play right here anymore. So let's just go for broken. Now hope that they don't have 2 PGs, and they don't. They don't. Do they have 6 damage shield? That's it. That's it. It's so simple. Yeah, I mean, does that look fun to you? It looks fun to me. But just like as a competitive player though, I have to say that this is more of a fun deck than like a really meta deck. You can see how high roll it is. It's not stable at all. Maybe I'm playing this wrong. Maybe DP just isn't my clan. Maybe my list still needs tweaking. But overall, I do feel that, you know, when it works really well, but when it bricks really poorly. So definitely be wary of that. But, you know, if you do like that playstyle where you just, you know, one shot, one kill, then this deck is definitely for you. Once Reiji's nerfed, I hear that from JP players that, you know, this is kind of the go-to kind of I'll be denied deck, where even if you fail your wombo combo with your cross break ride kind of play, your superior break ride play, well, at least your opponent still is 2 PGs down and they're still at 3, so they can't really break ride into their own combo, and you still have one more turn to do stuff with. So that's nice. Definitely, Daikaiser will get a lot of support in the future in set 16, so I'm looking forward to that. And that is basically all for this video. I think it's great that we have two fights. Let me know down below if you like this format where we just get an extra fight, if it's shorter. But I guess that's it. I hope you don't mind. I honestly don't have too much experience with Dimension Police. I like the clan, but not really my kind of thing. But it definitely is really fun, and just wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, like it, and subscribe to see more. And until next time, Entropy out. Bye.